I linked up Abraham to Hilda Moraa, who is the co-founder of Possessor, a fintech company making incredible strides in the industry. Hilda Moraa was also a founder of Weza Tele, a company she exited from by selling for an estimated 100 million Kenya shillings. She also has authored a book titled The Kenyan Startup Journey that highlights her journey in entrepreneurship. Hi, Hilda.
Hi, how are you?
doing?
I'm good.
Pleasure meeting you.
Nice to meet you too.
So here's Abraham. I was telling you about.
Hi, Abraham.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
So Abraham runs a techpreneur company called
Yes.
Point. So he wants to learn from you, from your success, what exactly you've been doing. So he wants to get nuggets of wisdom from you. So I'll leave you guys to have a conversation, and then I'll see you guys later.
Absolutely. Let's
Awesome.
go and have a chat.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. Great.
Hi, Hilda.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. Pleasure meeting you.
Nice to meet you too.
Thank you very much for giving me this time to get to know you and share my story, as you also give me some advice on this startup journey, because I know it can become very, very tough. Maybe the first question would be, how did you start off?
Yeah, so my journey as an entrepreneur started off way back in school when I was in Strathmore University. And in my last year, I thought, I had so much free time, and I thought, what am I going to do with this free time? And so that's where, as a business and information technology student, I started to think of ideas, how I can use technology to solve problems that were around me, and make the university and where I was staying in the hostel, a better place. And so basically that's where I started my first printing business in the hostels. At that time we never had, yes, no, it wasn't that. It was a hostel within the university. So we used to basically have to go long distance to look for printing services. And I thought, why not start that? Went back to my parents, borrowed some loan and said, give me 5,000 shillings to go and buy a printer, I'll return it within 2 months. So that's where I started my journey, put the printer up, fast forward, got a lot of students within the hostel environment coming to print. And I thought, wow, I just solved a problem and provided a relevant solution where I saw a need, and I was also affected by that problem.
Now, how did yours grow from now something that is in school to be actually a company that is out there? You've even written a book. How did you grow it now from that startup in school now to that big company that and those successful companies that we hear about?
Well, they say for you to be an entrepreneur, you have you're two things. You are naive and crazy.
I agree.
And I think when I started off my journey as an entrepreneur back in 2009, I was very naive. I was scared. I was basically driven to the school of thought that, you should go and get a proper job, by the society around me, because, I was able to excel well in my academics. But again, I thought, look, that's not what I want to be. I want to be an entrepreneur, solve problems, and provide relevant solutions. And so, I decided, take the leap of faith and jump ship into this entrepreneurship journey. And because I had done technology and also business, and the combination of that was very important for what I thought, my entrepreneurship journey was going to become. And so, took the leap of faith, and the beauty about it was at that time, we had innovation spaces like the iHub that were just coming up. And I was involved as part of a member in this community in setting up the iHub, and that also brought a lot of opportunities to finding the right people, like-minded people who would come together and they can believe in something. They have no idea where it's gonna go. So, that was the first place I had to go to meet like-minded people who think like me. They are willing to take risks at a young age, and they are willing to solve problems that we are facing in the country. So when I went there, I just felt connected. I felt that I was in the right room, and that's where my journey began, meeting the right people, finding people who are young and willing to take the risk, And that's where I met my first team of Wezatele, my first company, where we provided mobility solutions for the supply chain sector. And, we worked together. We were mostly techies. And so someone had to go out and sell, and it had to be me.
Oh, from a take it now to selling.
Exactly. So, and now you see where my business skills came in handy. And, I transitioned myself very quickly to a salesperson. We all couldn't be the people writing codes. Someone had to pay bills, exactly. And I was involved in that, putting the company structures, going out and looking for opportunities. And that's how we survived in the 3 years. It was tough, but without funding, without, the right resources, we bootstrapped our way in the 3 years of Wezatele journey. And that was the best I think I've ever learned in my life of entrepreneurship, because there was a lot of challenges and at the same time small wins.
I set up my first team from the best students who were in the same class in 4th year, but 1 year into the business, or actually less than a year, all of them decided to start living. So you're selling a big dream, but people tell you, Abraham, we have responsibilities. Tell me how you deal with such kind of challenges.
Well, that was not any different in my journey as well. And so, my advice to you when it comes to team is, focus on getting, people who are smarter, willing to come in, fold their sleeves, and they are passionate about what you're doing. They believe in your vision as a leader, but more importantly, they share the same values as you, and they're willing to take on that purpose with you in good times and in bad times. And unfortunately, the only way to know that, it's when you're with them in those moments. So it's a journey, and it's a journey about people. And at the end of the day, it's a journey about finding the right people. So it never ends.
How did you manage to get the right corporate partners? How did you manage to get the right kind of investors? How did you manage to get those people who will give you a step forward and manage to scale your business?
I think I'll start with just making sure you have, the right support system. And what I mean by that is mentors. It's a very tough market, and generally it's tough doing entrepreneurship. So, the first thing I would advise is, get the right mentors, industry players who have been there before. They're coming with experience, and they're coming with...
In the first place?
Yes, they exist.
But
they
you
are
find
there.
them?
And that's a good question. Where do you find mentors? And they are around you most of the time. And we tend to think of mentorship as a classroom setup. It's like applying for a job, but it's not. Most of the help you need is already around you, and sometimes it's a network effect. You meet those people, they direct you to the right people, and like that.
You've had a huge success. You've been 2 years in the market for Pesesha. You've had 70,000 customers. You've sold out your first company. Have you ever felt like giving up? And if you felt like giving up, what would be your advice?
Well, first I'll start by saying, success is a journey. I haven't yet reached, what success to many people looks like, which is, yes, you've sold a business, you've done all this. But for me, I think I have just started that journey. The way I look at success as a journey is there's going to be a lot of failures. That's why I ended up writing my book, A Kenyan Startup Journey, which is pretty much targeted to the university students, to give them the lessons that I have learned so far in my journey, so that they don't have to make those same mistakes that I made, and they can do better than me.
I hope I'll get a copy today.
You will get a copy, and just to say that this is actually the only copy. This is the only copy I had with me for now, but I'm going to give you this copy, and I want you to read it, but don't keep it. Give it to other young entrepreneurs and pass it on for them to read the lessons in this book and learn from my mistakes, and in tandem we will be able to learn from each other. So I'm not gonna charge you for this book because it costs, but I want you to do me that favor, which is you read it and pass it on to at least 10 other young entrepreneurs, and you have to report back to me that you have given who's the next person to read the book.
They have an extra appointment.
Yes, exactly. So that is the way we will do it. Thank you very much. Yes.
It's been great meeting Hilda Moraa. We've had a very nice discussion, and from the discussion I picked a lot of things, and I'll just summarize to three major things that I've learned. The first thing Hilda focuses on and insists on is teamwork, and she insists that you should not get your friends as business people, but really focus on getting people who share the same mindset. Yes, it can be your friends, but make sure that people are aligned to your dream and have the same kind of mindset. The second thing is that you should get people with the right networks and the right mentors to guide you through, because those are the people who can open new opportunities for investment and for business. And the last thing she insists on is not giving up. And I asked her, what is that one thing that makes you not give up? And she mentioned that you should always look back and think about your purpose. So those are some of the lessons I learned from Hilda, and I'm very thankful. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having watched the show. Hope you've learned a thing or two from the conversation between Hilda Moraa and Abraham on how exactly you can scale your tech business. Keep it right here on The Business Coach each and every week on Friday at 7:30 p.m. where we help entrepreneurs better their business.